Hello everyone. In our last video tutorials, what we've done is we created our load balancer. We have it pointing to our two droplets, and we have set up our A record in our domain to point to the load balancer. So now, Simple Coding Co.uk is using HTTPS only, redirects HTTP to HTTPS, and that's our main entry point for our application. But then we still have a little security problem here, which is our traffic is encrypted when we go through Simple Coding Co.uk, but actually if you go through the direct public IP address of the droplet, and we go to port 8080, you can still access the application, right? So what we need to do is ensure that we have some sort of firewalls to avoid direct access to the HTTP server which is in Web 0 and Web 1. So in order to do that, we're going to use DigitalOcean firewalls. Now, DigitalOcean firewalls are a way to restrict access inbound and outbound to a specific resource. So let's just put it there and have a look at it. Let's add it here, DigitalOcean firewall. Let's call it web. The name is going to be web droplet firewall. The droplets that it will target are the droplets that we have created, which is digitalocean.droplets.web.ip or .id. It's a list already, so just remember that what this does is the resource DigitalOcean droplet with the ID web dot all of them and collect them into a list of IDs. So it's very convenient. So these are the droplet IDs we're targeting. Now we're gonna allow TCP port 22, which is SSH for everyone. So everyone can SSH into our server as long as they have the right keys. We're gonna say an inbound rule. Inbound means from the outside to us, right? So from the outside to us, you can SSH. From the outside to us, you can use TCP port 8080. Everyone, well, we're gonna restrict that soon. And yeah, I'm gonna keep ICMP. And then outbound, I'm just gonna say everything, really. So I'm just gonna say outbound 1 to, I guess we can do a range of like 1 to 65. Yeah, there you go. I'm just gonna do that. I mean, of course, this is very dependent on your application, but in this case, we have a very simple application. We can allow all ICMP, all UDP, and all TCP traffic outbound, meaning from our droplet to the outside world. And from the outside world to us, we're going to allow SSH, which is TCP port 22, and we're going to allow 8080, which is the droplet where the application is running. So let's just check this. Right. So it's going to create a new cloud firewall, which sounds good to me. Let's mean while we say yes to it, let's see what it does. So it's going to target two droplets, and it's going to have all the properties that we set to it. If we go back to DigitalOcean, we can go to networking, and we can look at our firewalls. It's already created. It targets two firewalls and has 6 rules. So with that done, let's look at it. We have inbound rules, which is we accept TCP port 8080 for all IPv4 and all IPv6 addresses. So effectively, we've done nothing really apart from restricting the amount of port ranges that can be accessed, which is 22 and 8080. But actually, if I go directly to the IP address port 8080, I can still load the application. So what we need to do is we need to restrict a little bit more what we said here. We don't want to accept all traffic. So what we want to do really is allow access to port 8080 only from the load balancer that we are running for simple coding. So let's just go back to the documentation and have a look. As you can see here, we have multiple rules, multiple arguments that we can set for a firewall. And if we go down, we will see inbound rule, outbound rule. So in the inbound rule that we are looking at, source, load, balancer, UUIDs. So this is an array containing the IDs from which we will accept traffic. So how about we just do that? So rather than source addresses, we're going to say source, balance, load balancer, UUIDs, and it will be DigitalOcean load balancer web ID. That makes much more sense. Now we're only allowing traffic from the load balancer to the droplets. We're not allowing external traffic to the droplets. So once this is done, you should say it will change. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's apply that. It's always confirmation. So while this is being executed, let's go to our networking screen. Let's go to our firewalls, and we can have a look. This says it's done. So what we're saying now, it's different, right? We're accepting TCP on port 8080 only for WebLB, which means only our load balancer should be able to access the droplets. Therefore, if we were to go directly now to this IP address, port 8080, as you can see, it's not loading. The firewall is not allowing us to access directly the IP address. This is good. Now, if we were to go to simple coding, it still works, meaning you still have access from the load balancer to the droplets, but you don't have direct access to the droplet via its IP address. So this is a security thing that, it's a very good thing for us, and we've just improved the security of our infrastructure a little bit more.